Chapter 1. How it started. I still remember that Saturday, the day I first opened Horroween. The house was quiet, as usual. Silence had long become a language in our home, one my mother and I spoke fluently after my father's death. I sat in my small study, surrounded by dust and shadows, reading about Halloween and ghosts. Horroween wasn't an ordinary book. It was a strange, self-published work that my friend Kaito once bragged about, a forbidden book from my father's secret shelf. Out of reckless curiosity, I stole it from him, never imagining that the book would, in a sense, steal me too. Its pages were filled with chilling instructions: how to disguise oneself as a ghost, how to whisper to the dead, how to disappear. The deeper I read, the more the words seemed to move, as though the ink were alive. Kaito's father, people said, was a grand master in some secret order that worshipped knowledge the rest of the world feared. His private library was packed with titles like How to Cast a Spell on the Living and Uses of the Human Skull. Kaito had always sneaked into that room despite his father's warning, then returned to school with new tales of spirits and strange powers. I'd listened with half-mocking envy, until I saw Horroween in his bag that Friday and slipped it into mine when he wasn't looking. I told myself I'd only borrow it. I told myself I'd return it before Monday. But by the time I reached the 4th page, I was already somewhere else. My name is Robert, Robbie to my friends, Bobby to my mother. I was 11 then, living with her in an old British-built house in Arata, on the outskirts of Aba. The walls were high, the gates tall, the compound large enough to hide 100 secrets. Our home had once belonged to a colonial officer before independence. After the British left, my father bought it from the government. When he died, everything about the house began to echo his absence: the empty servants' quarters, the silent generator house, the long afternoons where only the wind spoke through broken window slats. Books became my only companions. I read to escape, to fill the silence, to learn. My classmates called me the bookworm. Some said I'd go mad one day, reading too much. They were wrong, or so I thought. Then came Horroween. The author's name on the cover was Mr. Anonymous. A shadow name. Rumor had it he belonged to one of the darkest occult circles known. His writing had a way of pulling me under, word by word, until the pages no longer felt like paper but doorways. By the 4th page, I felt the door open. There, in the story, a demon named Ajoife turned to the others and said, "Someone is watching us." He began to describe the watcher, a living boy, sitting alone, reading. Every detail matched me. "He thinks he's reading a book," Ajoife hissed. "He doesn't know he's already inside it." I froze. My heart thudded so hard it almost shook the desk.